Storm 5 alert.
TDOT crews have been busy trying to clear the roads and keep them clear after yesterday's snow. These plows we found overnight on I-40 in Mount Juliet. And while we've seen the end of the heavy snow, the concern now is icy roads. Good morning. I'm Jennifer Kraus, and we are glad you are joining us on this Saturday morning. We have live team coverage for you this morning of the aftermath of the snow, including cleanup efforts, a live look at the road conditions from Storm 5 Titan, and from the air, Sky 5. But first, we want to start with News Channel 5 meteorologist Henry Rothenberg. Are we done with the snow, and where are they going?
So that heavy snow, it is out of here, Jennifer, but just be mindful. Could see a few flurries today. Won't amount to anything. The snow has moved out. The temperatures are still very cold, and the snow on the ground is making for these beautiful shots that you can only see on News Channel 5 with the only news chopper in the region, Sky 5, as they are flying over the mid-state. And this is a beautiful, beautiful view of Radnor Lake. Some folks were out there walking around enjoying this morning. I do not blame you all one bit for doing that. So with these views, that snow on the ground is going to keep things actually a bit chilly as well. So let's take a look at what we're going to be dealing with as we go through the morning. The Power of 5 radars, overall, like I said, the snow is pretty much gone, some flurries. And as we go through the day, we will see temperatures remaining on the chilly side. 30s today, some freezing fog tonight, and 20 and 38 degrees with some melting happening tomorrow. A much more detailed check of all of this is coming up in a bit, Jennifer.
Henry, thank you. From Robertson County this morning, a sad reminder of why it is so important to stay off the roads, especially in these icy conditions. Our news partners at the Smoky Bar News report that 2 children were killed in a crash on Highway 161 near Springfield last night. Police got the call that a car had rolled over just before 7:30. Robertson County officials say a man did make it out of the wreck, but sadly, the 2 children who were in the car with him were killed. TDOT tells us crews worked all night long making sure that the interstates and state roads were clear, but now with the melting and refreezing, that could make things stick this morning. We've got Eric Pointer out monitoring the conditions for us this morning in Storm 5 Titan. Eric, I know you checked out the interstate conditions earlier, and now it looks like you're in a neighborhood. How are the roads there?
Yeah, so we're in the Warren Park area of Franklin, and the roads are looking a little bit rough. That refreezing that Henry's been talking about, we've been seeing it. You can tell right here on this turn we're making just how icy these roads are. You can tell they were treated, but again, when it melts and it refreezes, it gets slick. So definitely something to look out for sure. And we've seen a lot of that this morning. This person walking their dog, so a lot going on in this area, but you want to be safe and be cautious. Now, when I mentioned the interstates, they were clear. We did see a lot of clear interstates this morning. TDOT says that they're happy with the way that things went yesterday. They pre-treated all the routes before the snow came, and they had a nice layer of salt brine, which gave them more time once the snow came to treat it. Then they started plowing and salting the roads early on. They continued to work overnight, plowing and salting the interstates and state routes. Now, a spokesperson from TDOT tells me that their goal was to keep at least one lane free of snow and ice at all times, but they know that there is more work to be done this morning with the refreezing.
Roadways are still going to be treacherous. We still want to urge folks to stay at home if you can, but our plan is to hit those interstates and state routes so we can clear it and hopefully cut down the danger out there.
Yeah, so just to give you guys a look, again, the roads may be dangerous to drive on, but look at these people walking and running out here, having a good time. And so we are urging people to stay home if they can. Don't drive if you don't have to, but if you do have to, you want to drive slow. Coming up in about 30 minutes, we'll have more information and recommendations from TDOT on what to do and how to handle those roads if you have to be on them. But for now, I'll send it back to you in the studio.
How very bold of them to be out there running on the icy and snowy roads there. Well, Eric, thank you. A lot of people were able to stay home yesterday, and today they might try to get out. Freezing temperatures overnight, though, made the snow-covered roads a little icy, as Eric was showing us. News Channel 5's Hannah McDonald has also been up and out this Saturday morning. She is in West Nashville, not too far from the Walmart there on Charlotte Pike. So, Hannah, how are things out that way?
Yeah, so we've moved into the neighborhood, Jennifer, and it's been really interesting to see the difference between the state road and then the primary road that the city took care of yesterday, the secondary roads, the post-secondary roads, and then the untreated roads. So this is Windrow. Nobody touches this. This is not a street that the city can get to because of the 2,500 other miles of road they get to. This is an example of a road that has not seen a snowplow. Now, 25 miles an hour is the speed limit, and I would certainly encourage you to be going about 5 miles per hour slower than that, if not slower. This is interesting. This is Brownlee. This is the post-secondary road for NDOT. So that means once they have nailed down the primary routes and the secondary routes, they get to this, and that's what NDOT says they're going to be focusing on today. This does not look great, but this is likely what you're going to look out your window and see. And what I want you to know is it doesn't reflect the majority of the county. But, of course, it's your first road before you get to the...
All right, we have evidently are having some technical issues with Hannah's microphone there, but we'll try to check back in with her in a bit. The region's only dedicated news helicopter has also been out this morning. Our chief photographer, Mike Rose, is in Sky 5 with pilot Lance Pugliese. And I know you were over Radnor Lake just a little bit ago. Hi there, Mike. Some great views, but I know you've caught that tractor trailer that had overturned on 440 a bit ago. What else are you seeing?
We did, and now we've moved over to South Nashville. We're along 65 and kind of the Harding area, not too far from Radnor Yard. Let me pan the camera over to the right, and you can see this is one of my favorite things to film. There's the maintenance house right there, and you can see all the train cars lined up, and as they're switching all these cars in and out as they travel through Nashville. Panning the camera back around, we're looking to the north. This is I-65 here in your foreground, and kind of the old Hundred Oaks Mall area. So the main highways are looking really good. Seco Drive, Thompson Lane, looking great. But once you kind of get over to the neighborhoods, those streets are a little bit sketchier, but honestly, just more slush than ice. So I'll give you a shot kind of looking straight down. Anything that, large parking lots, areas with a lot of surface area for that kind of radiant heat to hold on to, kind of just wet at this point. Just really kind of getting down to just the grassy areas and the rooftops that are seeing the most snow. So just a beautiful view. Traffic is flowing quite well, honestly, except for that one tractor trailer that we saw over by 440. So we tried to buzz Jim Cantori earlier. I know he was down on Lower Broadway, but looks like he's taken off. So we didn't see him. You can tell that to Henry.
We will definitely do that.
He's over at Riverfront Park right now, I think, still. He just texted me. So if you get a chance to annoy him again, by all means, do it.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. And it's not just the roads that are affected by the weather, of course, flights too. Just under 300 flights scheduled to arrive or leave from the Nashville airport were canceled yesterday, not to mention many delays. Travelers who had their flights canceled yesterday told us they were hoping to catch a flight today. So far, though, we've heard that already 25 flights have been canceled. If you do have a flight this weekend, be sure to check ahead of time for any possible issues.
It's really important for people to check the status of their flight before arriving to BNA. As you know, when you get here, it's going to be busy. But if you check in advance, then you know before arriving if you need to come here, if you need to pivot your plans. Also, arrive early. It's going to take longer to navigate these spaces with the snow.
Folks at the airport also shared this video with us showing their crews working to keep the runways and taxiways safe and clear. Ultimately, though, airport officials say it's up to each airline to decide whether or not they're going to take off. The Nashville Zoo and its Illumination Lights display are both closed today. If you already purchased Illumination tickets for today, don't worry. The zoo says you can reschedule to another date, and you can do that by going to the contact page on the zoo's website. You do still have time to catch the light display this year. The last day is set for Sunday, February 9th. WTVF on News Channel 5 this morning. The clock is ticking for TikTok. We'll look at the last-minute push to keep the app from being banned in the U.S. next.